top of the morning to you. I hope you're all fine and dandy and staying ahead of the game. Remember, it is a game, and each one of us must play a part. Well, it's been a little while since I've made any recordings, probably a couple of weeks, and there's a very good reason for that. I've been away exploring things, I've been mapping some things, and making some new discoveries in this age of revelation, this apostolic great revealing which we are in at this time. And I'm going to take you to a little place where I looked at just the other week there called Ellen. And for those who have seen the video and liked the video and so on, and shared it, thank you very much for sharing. And what we're looking at is Ellen, home of Brewdog, home of the master brewers. And anyone who's seen those videos will see that I came across Ellen probably about a year ago in the shape of what I thought was a hedgehog. And the idea of the hedgehog starforts. There are starforts out there that some say are shaped like hedgehogs. And one great researcher in particular, an Irish fellow called Colm Gibney, he coined the phrase the hedgehog starfort. And for a long time I believed this was a hedgehog which I discovered. But of course my studies in the heavens are all regarding Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, the pole star and the centre of heaven, Eden. And when I looked at Ellen once again, I discovered that it was the Great Bear that is over Ellen. And not just over Ellen, and this is what this recording is about today, the Little Bear is over, side by side, over Logie Buchan and Curtin of Logie Buchan. And you can see perfectly how the estates are, and their buildings are lined up with the stars. Each building in the right place as it should be. And you have this, the back of Ursa here, and this imitation as above so below, and the end of, there's a star there. These aren't immediately above because it's hard trying to get an image that's perfect, and of course our ancestors didn't have images to overlay. All they had was the heavens above them. And it's quite amazing to see that, you know, those who are in control, or those who presume to be in control, are using golf courses and various other things to disguise and to hide this. So we're in Logie Buchan at the moment, which is Ursa Minor. And what I'll do with this, so you can see that I'm not just at it, we will take the stars away as such, or the overlay. Let's move this, and let's move this over. We can see quite clearly as I zoom out, you can see the head, and you can see the back, and you can see the legs come down here. But if I return the image, you'll see that the entire landscape is the shape, and the estate itself is the shape of Ursa Minor, following closely in the footsteps of Ursa Major. And that's not the only thing, because as we travel across the country, this is Pitmedden, you have the links over Pitmedden. So anyone, this is for another post, anyone living in the Pitmedden area, the reason why it's called Pit is because it's Pictish or Hittite, and Hittite were the Kati, the Khati, the Links, the cat people. And but that's not really what I want to focus on today. What I wanted to focus on was another hedgehog type starfort which I found a long time ago, and it's in a place called Inch. But there's more There's always three witnesses in the heavens. So Inch, I knew for a long time, was indeed a hedgehog, what Colin Gibney and others call a hedgehog starfolk. So yeah, and it wasn't till I discovered Ellen and Logie Buchan as Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, I thought, wait a minute, the magnetic poles have shifted, and Polaris, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor were circling the pole from eternity, apparently, and yeah, they shifted, they moved, the poles were moved. And so when we look at Inch, which is just further west, more inland in the northeast, when we look at Inch, you will see that Inch 2 precisely marks the Great Bear. And you have the buildings aligned with the stars. These old buildings were put up and built. You can see the road, the old road, the old line. You can see the care home is in one of the stars here on the foot. You can see the street over here. The streets are divided up. You have this great farm here, immediately under the star. You have the Dunadeer standing stones over here. And so it was quite a surprise for me to realise that Ursa Major was moving across the landscape of the northeast of Scotland. How old this is, I have no idea, but we're probably talking 30, 40, 50,000 years. And our towns and cities are aligned perfectly with these stars. You can see Inch Golf Club there is right on it. You can see that an outlying farm, Glenesk House, right on it. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. Everywhere is a perfect overlay of what is that farm there. And so, yeah, so after discovering in Ellen, the bear in Ellen, and the little bear, I thought, well, the magnetic pole shifted, so let's look elsewhere. And I looked at Old Meldrum before, and wasn't sure what it was. But here we have Ursa Major, perfect, aligned to all the buildings, the main part of the square. This is actually the what do you call it? Meldrum House. So Meldrum House is the bear, and Old Meldrum is the little bear. Again, everything is perfectly aligned. And for those who live in this area, when you're coming from, say, Ellen and this Old Meldrum Road, and you come round the Old Meldrum Golf Course, it's a very strange road, and then you come onto the off the A920 and onto the Old Meldrum Newmarket Road, and it's a strange bend, and this strange things are going on, all hidden again, of course, in the golf course. But it's a strange bend, and then you come round this bit, and it's a dangerous bend as you come into this part of what we call Old Meldrum. And of course, Old Meldrum, the reason why it's called Old Meldrum is it's the drum of heaven. So Old Mel, meaning Gaia, Mother Earth, Old Mel, old, and the drum of heaven. So we have these bears circling the drum of heaven, and what I believe it is a battle in the heavens. We're actually seeing what our ancestors, what we call Hittites or Picts, well, they've been called Picts, they recorded where the magnetic shift occurred and where Ursa Major, Ursa Minor stood in that heavenly battle. And it was marked from the east to the west. And as far as I'm aware, the magnetic poles have shifted again, and we're back at around Aberdeen and Braemar area where the north central pole is. But I actually think it's greater than that, because there's much more to it. I think we're being deceived in many ways, but we're being told that, you know, a Boyne is where the pole, the centre of heaven, was marked. But the mountains itself declare the glory of the living God, because inch further west of Inch we find Kennethmont and Riney. And again, Riney, perfectly, is the bear. And what we have here at this part is the Crowstone, it's called. And the Crowstone, I'll put an image in there, actually shows you an image of a fish and Cetus the beast. And the Crowstone could be found right there at the on this hill. As you're leaving Riney, it's just right there in the hill. Probably not showing you the markers, but it's here. That's the Crowstone right there. There we go, it's coming up. So the paw is sitting on the Crowstone, and the Crowstone is showing, there's the image here, Cetus the beast and Pisces, but only one fish of Pisces. So this made me wonder, this is showing the fall of all the stars, Cetus from the north celestial pole, the Pisces from the north celestial pole. So I wondered, is there anything else in the area, in this area, showing the bear or the asterisms around the bear? Now here is Tap of the North. Tap of the North was a Pictish fort. It stands a couple of thousand feet in the air. It's an amazing place to visit. But what I discovered from these stones, if you look at the stones there, you'll see that Cetus the beast is below and the fish is above. So I thought, yeah, let's look and see if we can see Cetus the beast. And so, yeah, I looked just south of Riney, and I'm familiar with the hills and that up around Riney. And I looked at this area called Wiedelman and Crake. And the word crake kind of reminded me of the word crack. What's the crack? The Irish saying. And that then made me think of the Kraken, which is Cetus the beast. So I thought, wow, that is amazing. I wonder if the standing stones at the Crowstones over here, I wonder if it's showing us the battle of the two bears, Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Now bear in mind, if you have watched other videos of mine, I talk about Ursa Major and Ursa Minor being Thor's hammer, and Thor being Hercules. And Hercules takes the two bears together and smashes the serpent cult, smashes the beast system. This is the story in the heavens. And Hercules moves up and down the spine of Albion, smashing the beast, or smashing the snake system. So I thought, well, did everything begin in the North Celestial Pole and fall down? Well, I've thought that for a long time. And looking at these names, Crete, Wiedelmont, I decided to overlay and flip Cetus the beast. Now, I hope everyone can see that. What I would hope you were interested in is only Cetus the beast. These other instruments I haven't aligned yet, but I'm sure that St Mary's Kirk and the other church that's here, and the estate house on the Craig, I'm sure these are these instruments here. But one thing I am absolutely amazed at is there's a Pictish settlement up here. And when you take this image away, you can actually see the harp. And not just see that harp there, which is the Irish harp, of course, from Lyre, the ones who fell from Lyre, with Cetus the beast. What you see is the harp in the shape of the ground. And yes, it's just amazing, huh? Perfectly. And the hill, Wiedelman Hill, which is a pyramid, is the back of the neck or the fins of the beast. And if we zoom in, you can actually see the land takes the shape of the beast, and this being the eye of Cetus, the beast. And so from that I thought, wow, the fish, where is the fish? And of course, yes, the fish is there. I haven't completely aligned it yet, but the fish represents the age or the time of Pisces, or Pisces itself, I'm not too sure which. But I would say that what our ancestors are showing us here is the upper celestial realm, where all the asterisms that we understand, that we know of, all of them circled the North Celestial Pole, an area that was known as Top of the North, top of the North, in the age possibly of Pisces. So you have Pisces wrapped around the mountain, which represents Ursa Major, the little bear, and Benihee mountain range over here. Benihee mountain range represents the big bear. Oxen Craig is the big bear, and this is the little bear, which is Top of the North. Sorry, I'm not far enough along. Yeah, and this is the little bear. So we see that our ancestors, or to me it seems that our ancestors not only marked these in stone, but the actual physical lands that we understand or that we know are the actual physical shape of the heavens above. Now this is just a quick video. I was quite excited by this. The little bear. I never mentioned the little bear. The little bear is Kenneth Mott. And Ken, to know, is the little bear. And if we look at Leith Hall and the shape and the shape of this bit here, and Ardmore Distillery, you can see that Ardmore Distillery is built on this very last star here. It would be over there. I should have moved that further along. But the Ardmore Distillery, and even the shape of the road itself, or the old road, takes the shape. And you can see there that, you know, the stars sat perfectly on Old Kenneth Mont Cemetery, Leith Hall, their gardens and their walled gardens. And this is not something new for me. I've been discovering these things for a long time, but on the standing stones. But this, finding the physical shape and the layout of our streets and homes, this is something new for me. I didn't actually show Oin. Oin is next to Inch, and Oin is, again, the little bear. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at how our ancestors not only built our cities and towns, but they show the journey of the magnetic poles being knocked out the sky, what we understand by the lightning bolt, or a cosmic storm, whether it be comets or a plasma event. But everything was knocked from the pole of heaven, which is Benihee. Benihee mountain range is the bowl of heaven, and this is where the Great Fall happened. The Great Fall happened in Old Meldrum, the drum of heaven, where the Tuath Danann and the sons of Bar, the Bara, the sons of Bar, went against the Great Bear and the Little Bear. And in Old Meldrum we actually see here that, I'll just close that. In Old Meldrum we actually see here Meldrum, and with Meldrum House, Old Meldrum. Right, I'm wanting the minor. There we go. Sorry about that. So we can see here that the two of them are side by side, and that strange bend in the road is because of the shape. As you come into Old Meldrum at the back end, is because of the shape of Ursa Minor. And yeah, absolutely fantastic. You can see there that these farms, which I always found unusual as I grew up in this area, and I used to think, why are these farms where they are? Why are these, roads going around this way? Why is the golf course that way? But you can see here that, they've tried to hide things, but everything aligns still. So even the old mill and the square in Old Meldrum is, right here. The distillery, all of it, everything is just perfectly aligned. So this is a bit haphazard, just trying to throw things together to show people. If you're from the northeast of Scotland, you live in the bowl of heaven, and everything fell from the bowl of heaven, creating 3 levels. And if you're familiar with my other work, you'll understand what the 3 levels are. Paul talks about he knew a man who was caught up into the 3rd level, and of course that's talking about the Son of the living God, the only begotten Son, Hercules, who uses the bear, which is combined, the 2 bears combined make the hammer of Thor. And so, in other words, Hercules and so on are the same Hercules, Thor, the same stories, Arthur, and so on and so on and so on. And of course we have at the top of Scotland here Hercules. Just one last thing before I go and finish this recording. Let's look back at Rhynie again. Just one little thing that I just noticed there, and you'll see that Pisces, what's the name of that place? Bruntland. Here we go. You'll see that Pisces sits perfectly, creating a pentagram over the tap of the north. That's the tap of the north. This here, in my opinion, the tap of the north, this represents the little bear. This is the little bear. And yeah, and if you align the age of Pisces, the head of the fish of Pisces, and this is what this is, you get the center of creation. With Pisces, Cetus, the beast, being here, and everything circulating or circling the North Celestial Pole. And of course the Pisces is here, and Cetus the beast is here. That would mean that Aquarius, the water bearer, the one who pours out the water, will be over here to the east. And of course Inverurie is a giant fish, and beside Inverurie here you have Easter Aquarius, which is, in my opinion, marking Aquarius. It's a logical conclusion for me because yeah, the man is there, because I know, I've mapped it before. There's a man there, standing there, but this is Aquarius. This is the area of Aquarius, and yeah. But I hope you enjoyed this, just to show how amazing our lands are, how amazing our ancestors were, that they were able to map this precisely. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and don't forget to look up stuff.